Hey guys, I'm out here this morning and it's been a pretty warm week, but we are getting some cold temperatures at night. And I think the elephant ears have gotten the signal that it's time to go dormant. Now, it's not drooping, it has been watered, but the leaves are changing, much like the leaves on the tree. So the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting cooler. And before you dig your elephant ear bulbs up, you definitely want them to get that message that winter is coming. So I think today would be a very good day to pull those up and trim off the tops. That doesn't look like a bird. And here's what the elephant ears look like dug out of 2 pots. So I have taken a jet spray to them, cleaned off all the dirt, and I'm going to be trimming off all of these roots. And that is because next year the bulb will grow new roots. And as you can see, some of them next year will put out more elephant ears. That's how they spread. The leaves will go to the compost pile. And I did want to mention that you have to make sure your bulbs are not rotting. This one has some soft rotting areas, and that's going to be trimmed out, but there's plenty of healthy bulb up here. So I might keep that one separate from the others, but I think if I trim that out, it will dry and it will be just fine. I will also sprinkle it with cinnamon as an antifungal. But as you can see, that bottom half is rotting away. And it's really important before you put your bulbs away to get anything off that looks like that. So I wanted to show you what I did with the one bulb that was rotting. And I just basically trimmed off all of the rotting bits until it was firm white flesh of the tuber. And I don't even think I'm gonna need to use cinnamon on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I trim these up. And it's an awfully hot afternoon here. So I do wanna get these back into the shade pretty quickly. Okay, let's get these trimmed up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just chop it about 6 inches tall. And then I'm just gonna come along and I'm gonna trim the roots just like this. While these bulbs are going dormant, these roots will dry up. They don't need it. And here's the bulb I'm gonna store. It's gonna become more brown and dry. But we're just gonna make them look really neat and trim off the roots and trim off all the leaves. All of that will go in the compost. And the rest of this will dry up. We can take them out next year when the weather warms up. And I'm gonna leave this little bit on. It's perfectly firm, but it looks like maybe it was the baby from another tuber. So I have all different sizes. Let's take care of this big one. This was huge. This thing, it weighs a lot. And look at the size of the roots, guys. It's just enormous. It was an absolute monster. So I'm just gonna cut that top off. I don't even know if my clippers are gonna go through this. Look at that, guys. Quite a job. I think I'm just gonna kind of rip that a little bit. I can trim it up. Now that's a lot of greens for the compost. And I read that worms don't care for the foliage too much, but there's plenty of microbes in there too. So I'm just pulling off anything that looks like it's kind of mushy and dying. And here, this looks pretty good at the top. Anything broken, and just peel it off. And this should dry up nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this a little bit lower. That doesn't look so good in the middle of that. This one's a little bit trickier just due to its size. Maybe scissors would work well. I'm just gonna go ahead. So without roots and without leaves, this plant is just gonna go into dormancy. And all of these will dry off, and next year, once it's planted again, it's going to send out new roots. The old roots will not come back to life. Those will be dried up in 6 months. And we can go ahead and let it make new roots. And there you go, guys. Here's the giant monster all cleaned up. That is one huge bulb, and I'm gonna check it. Now under here, it's not so pretty, but it's completely firm. You wanna put away firm bulbs and no rot. You wanna examine everything for rot. And again, I gave them a good rinse. So you rinse them, let them dry a bit, then you come back later. Look at all these roots, guys. That goes to the compost. And then you trim them up. So they look just like this. And they will be inside my house, but I will make sure that they get good circulation until they look a lot drier. I don't want to put them away wet. This one was kind of an easy one. That was a baby. Here's an easy one of the smaller ones. Easy peasy. All right, and this is my last one. It doesn't take too long at all. Sure is a nice day to be out here too. And that'll do it. That's 2 pots worth of elephant ears. So I've got to do the same thing tomorrow. Here's the finished product. These are inside my house now. I have them spread out on some cardboard. And I'm gonna leave them here for a week or 2 to continue drying down a little bit further before I close them into a cardboard box. I do want to make sure that while they're drying out, that they have air circulation. And I don't want to put them into storage with too much moisture. That can encourage some rot. So I will be putting these in my cool basement. They will be in the complete dark for the winter. And when the weather warms up, we'll take them out again and have another glorious year with elephant ears. So thanks so much for watching, guys. And I hope you have some of these wonderful plants in your garden. I'll see you next time.